Hello, world! It's Thursday and we're live, and that means it's time for me to bring on my co host, Frank. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello, Nitya. How are you?
I am doing awesome. This is such a great week. So much stuff happened.
Yes. And before we start, I just want to. I already repeated a few times, but I want to prove it today because we listen to you. We read all comments that you send and feedback and everything. And today we did a change. So if you notice, you told us we were showing too many URLs and thing in the screen. It was hard to follow up. So now it's only one and everything is in the show notes. So we'll share again later today where you can give us some feedback, but there's always the chat at the right if you're watching live or the comments sections.
Yeah, and I love that we've made these changes because I actually do think it's improved it for us as well. So please keep that feedback coming. But I'm also excited because did you see this, Frank? Like, I think yesterday they announced the last four finalists for the Imagine Cup. That was
Yes,
so
yes,
amazing.
it's awesome.
Yeah, so I still remember Imagine Cup during build. I remember seeing the finalists come on stage and Satya presenting them. So this year, apparently they had four categories. I think it was Earth, Education, Healthcare, and Lifestyle. And I like the fact there were 40 finalists and four of them have been selected to go for the Ultimate Cup. And I think this is what I really like about it. There's one from New Zealand, shout out to New Zealand, US, Kenya, and Thailand. So we've got people from all regions for those four topics. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, very cool. What else do you have for us today?
Okay. So this actually is going to tie in very nicely. So today is April 1st, and that means in 3 weeks from now, we're at April 22nd, which is Earth Day. So I want to talk to you about something that's kind of related as well. I want to talk to you about skills. So recently, Satya's blog post talked about what they call a skills-based economy and a whole bunch of different resources that are coming up. So whether you're in high school or whether you've got a child like in the K to 12 range, ways for you to get started. And I am excited about two things. First, there's a Minecraft edition of the curriculum where they've released four modules focused on sustainability just in time for Earth Day. So go check that out. I'm planning to do some of these with my son myself, and I think it's going to be really fun. The other one is the Make Code curriculum now has a lot of open source curriculum coming out next month.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. So a lot of things to learn and get ready for it. That's pretty cool. On my side, I was very excited this week about one post that was shared. I'm a .NET developer and I like cloud stuff, if you didn't know. And there's a very nice blog post that was written, I think, by Nesh Neil. I forgot the name of the author. I should have known that. But the link will be in the show note. And it's a group of books, training, blog posts, videos about cloud native for .NET developer. So tons of free resources to get started. What is it, cloud native? What does it mean? And how you can get started. So very, very interesting blog post.
Yeah, I remember there was actually the .NET microservices thing last week that we talked about. I went and attended it and it was super cool. So I like that we can continue the journey. Yeah, looking forward to checking out those resources.
Yeah, but today we have a good show packed of stuff, of a great segment, great information. So if we recap, we have Scott Unsement that will be interviewing Anna Kirtners. I hope I don't butcher your name too much. We have then Isaac with a tips and trick on Azure tips and tricks, something GitHub related. And then we'll have Mr. Thomas with certifications, talking about certifications. Well, more to come. And of course, we have that new segment, the ABC. So stay tuned for the end of the show because we'll have a lot of fun with that new game. How do you feel about that, Nitya?
Oh my God, it was so nervous. I was so nervous about it. And this is why we really need your feedback. We really want to know whether you liked it or not. So I think that's perfect. But I think I'm excited about the next segment, actually. I think this is File New Project. And Anna Kurtzner, I think was her name. What I liked about it, I think, is he kind of follows the journeys of people into code, like folks who are coming in potentially from other careers. And she's super exciting because comes from Vets Who Code. I'm really looking forward to learning more about this. So we should kind of get started on that segment, I guess.
Hey friends, I'm Scott Hanselman, and it's File New Project. I'm talking with folks that are early in career from all over the world and hearing about their journeys into technology. Today, we're talking with Anna Kutzner. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you. How are
I'm
you?
very well, and I'm happy to be chatting with you today because I understand that you are a veteran and you came through a program called Vets Who Code, and you're just starting your journey. How far into your journey as a technologist are you?
So it's only been about 6 months since I've really been focused on learning, and that's when I started the Vets Who Code
Uh-huh.
program.
And what have you accomplished so far? Like, was there a moment where you did like a hello world and you were just like, I have to show this to somebody?
So I had part of the application process for the Vets Who Code was to create a website. So when I did that, one of the things that I had worked on was creating a pop-up, which I was later told are super annoying. However, I got it to work where it asks you a question as soon as you get onto the page, and it was so exciting. I made everybody I know that go look at my page, even though it was a little rough, and like answer the question and hit okay. And it was really exciting for about a week. I was one of the proudest things I had done so far.
What is it like to, like, you live in a world where computers are not a thing that you use, but you don't make. And then now you're on the other side. And now you're like, oh, like there are people who make that software that I use. Is it changing your relationship with technology?
Oh, definitely. It was really overwhelming at first. I think the first couple of weeks just doing the Vets Who Code camp, I was really overwhelmed, and I'm pretty sure I told my husband I was going to quit every other day, and because I didn't think I would get to understand it, and I still go through phases like that, but it's really fun when I go on a website or when I'm doing in my day job that I have now, I get an error message. I'm like, I recognize that from I mean, I can't fix it, but I know what's happening there. I can email somebody and say, hey, I haven't actually emailed somebody, but I think about it. So,
What when you think about switching careers, you're coming from you've got your veteran life and your civilian life. That's a switch. You were a social worker in the National Guard, and now you're going to thinking about being a coder. You've also got life happening, the pandemic happening. You've got kids. You're juggling a lot here. Is career changing the biggest thing that you're dealing with right now?
um, I think just the balance of everything. Um, it's just because, yeah, with the pandemic, the distance learning, having my regular job, everything's kind of shifted, and right now it's starting to shift back a little bit into a world that I haven't known in almost a year. Things are going back to. So but yeah, this is probably the most challenging thing, is just making sure I make the time to continue learning, because everything changes, and there's so much information, so many resources out there, and I've only like touched on a piece of it. So
There is a ton out there. Do you find that the group is encouraging, and then your peers and your other vets in the program are saying like you can do it? Like, I'm sure you may wake up one day and feel like I can't do it, but like you've got this, right?
yes, that they're really great about that. There's so many people who have gone through, who have been in like my position, where they like knew very little, or just were like, this will be fun to try, let's do it, and now they have a career, and they've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's really encouraging to know that they've been in my spot where they've gotten discouraged, or where they feel like they're not doing quite enough, because that's one of the or they don't feel as confident in what they're doing, and just letting me know how they've gotten through it, and that, this is how you feel, but you're doing fine. It's a process.
It is such a process because you just don't know that you can do it, but then you made that text box, or you made that button, or you made that, and it's like,
Yes.
hang on, I may be actually good at this, and this is going to be awesome.
Right.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me,
Yes.
Anna Kutzner. You're just a few months into your experience as a new developer. Thank you for your service, and I hope to see you making great websites on the internet very, very soon.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Anna. That was a very interesting segment. Very like it. So now we're supposed to be going with Isaac in front of HQ, but I know I'm hearing. Oh, I think he's back. So okay, now let's join live in front of HQ. Isaac, are you there?
Hey, Frank. Sorry. I mean it's crazy when you're out on the street. Like, it's just, you have a really, really hard time sometimes. So sorry about that. So yeah, Isaac Levin here, right outside of Azure HQ, and no tricks today on April Fools, just tips. Today I have a great Azure tips and trick. Let's roll the video. So today I'm going to be talking about GitHub Actions, right? So GitHub Actions, as for the folks who don't know, they enable you to execute jobs whenever something happens in a GitHub repository. This helps you customize your GitHub workflow to whatever you need it to be. So this is a GitHub website I have opened, a repository that contains a simple ASP.NET Core website. Let's create an action from this repo. Here in the Actions tab, I can choose from many predefined templates for common scenarios. I'll choose a blank workflow file. This creates a new file called workload.yaml. Let me paste in the action code that I've already created right here. So here, as you can see, I create a GitHub Action workflow that runs whenever code is pushed to the repo. You can choose anywhere else you would, like pull requests or different issues created on there as well. So what a pull request, or what a GitHub Action does, is it runs on a virtual machine. You can choose the operating system that you want to run the job. In this case, it's Ubuntu for both jobs. In the first job, I check out the code using this action right here. This is a predefined, and this is me showing Ubuntu latest, right? In the first job, I check out the code is using this action. This is a predefined action that I can use, and there are many of them. Next, I make sure that .NET Core is installed on the virtual machine. And that way I can run .NET CLI wherever I am, because .NET Core is now installed on the virtual machine. There's also software like the Azure CLI and Node and some of the other really valuable CLIs as well. So when the job is done, I run the deploy job. It only runs when the build job succeeds, which I configure here. Deploy job just has one step, which is this one. This is the one of the Azure steps, and this one deploys code to an existing Azure web app. There are many other GitHub actions that interact with Azure that you can use, for instance, run Azure CLI commands and deploy apps to Kubernetes. This action needs the name of the web app to deploy and the publish profile, which contains the URLs and credentials to deploy the app. I get the publish profile from a GitHub secret, which I'll create. I can do that in the repo settings, and here I can add a new secret. I'll show you what that looks like right now. It should have this name, and I can get the value from the Azure portal. This is the web app that I'll deploy my app to. This is the Azure secret. I'm setting that right now. And now I'm going over to the Azure portal. So this is the web app that I'll deploy to. And here I can download the publishing profile. I just have to open it and copy the contents, and that is what I'll use as the secret value here. Now let's commit this workflow. It should be running now as it is triggered by any push to the repository. Let's see more details. This is the first job that is running. As you can see here, these are the list of the different jobs. Let me click on one of them to view more details. I'm going to advance the video a little bit because this does take a little bit of time. But as you can see, this builds the code, and when it succeeds, it starts the deploy job. When the deploy job is done, it shows the URL of the web app in the output. You can also use this output in a subsequent job. Let's go to this URL to see if it worked. And there it is. You have the website running in Azure. And there you have it. Deploying to Azure with GitHub Actions. And remember, we have this tip and hundreds more on Azure tips and tricks, and there's going to be a link to that in the show notes. Back to you, Frank.
I love those tricks. I'm a user already of GitHub Action. I love them. They are kind of simple to use them. There's a ton of example to help you get up started. And it's so stable. It's secure also with those secret things. So like you don't put any secret inside script and GitHub and other others cannot see anything. That's pretty cool. I really like it.
Yeah, I love GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions gives you endless flexibility, right? And I mentioned earlier that, there are tons of actions that have been built by the Azure team to actually deploy and do all sorts of different things. It's not just deploying either. So for instance, if you need to run scans on your Azure containers to make sure that they're secure, if you want to run AKS commands using kubectl, you can do all these things, right? I love GitHub Actions, and I talk about it a lot, and I hope people take advantage of all the cool things you can do in Azure with GitHub Actions.
Awesome. But now let's bring back Nitya. Nitya, what do you have for us coming next?
Oh my God, like Thursdays are the best day. I keep saying this. We have Thursday tips and tricks, and then we're going to Thursday's tech with Thomas. So this is super cool. I think Thomas came and talked to us last time. Hi, Thomas, we're back.
Hi, Nitya. Great to see you again.
Yes, so I was just going to recap and say that I think the first time you talked about just, why should we get certified? And then we looked at role-based certifications. And I'm guessing today we're going to talk about how you look at Azure certifications. Is that right?
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's Thursday again. We're going to talk about certification. And as you said, we're now going to have a look on the different Azure certifications. So as you know, last week, we looked at all the different certifications which are out there. As you can see, we have focused on different job roles, right? And I explained, we talked last week, Nitya, we talked about role-based certification and that we want to make it easy for people to identify which role they should go, because again, it's in the cloud world, it's hard to pick just one solution or one product or one service. You actually need to bring this all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was gonna just quickly say, we're looking at, this is the link that you can find in the show notes as well to get you to this page on Microsoft Docs and Learn, right?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, the simple way is go to our show notes, but you can also go just to microsoft.com/learn, where you can find a lot of different learning modules, but also all about certifications, and you can exactly find that specific list. So cool. We're going to look at the specific Azure certifications. I mean, there are a ton of different Azure certifications, and a lot of the, not necessarily pure Azure certifications, let's say the new security certifications, for example, we just launched. They also have Azure in there. But today we're going to have a look at the AC exams and how that structure looks like a little bit. Because again, probably you get the same, but we get a lot of questions from people like, where do I start when I want to take these different exams? Do I do these certifications in a different order, in a specific order? And so that is what I want to point out here a little bit.
So can you tell me what is associate versus expert? You're saying this is Azure Applications and Infrastructure certifications. So what are those levels?
Yes, so there are different levels. We have, as you said, the fundamentals where we start. And again, I highly recommend for everyone to actually start with the fundamentals. However, it's not required to take all the certifications, right? But again, good starting point, especially for people who haven't really taken a Microsoft exam before. You kind of can get used to how the exam works, how the questions work, and all of that. And obviously also you get the base set of cloud computing fundamentals. And as you pointed out, we have these different levels, the associate and the expert level, kind of depending on your job role. To be honest, I personally don't focus so much on if it's an associate role or an expert role. I more focus on the different roles we can see here on that specific screen. So one thing you can see in the associate, we obviously can go from depending on what I'm doing in my job or what I want to do in the future, I would pick going for an Azure administrator, an Azure developer, or if I'm really focused on Azure security, which we have a ton of people out there, and again, also a ton of people which are missing in that space. This is a great certification. And then what you can do is basically get to the next step where you then, for example, become a DevOps engineer. And that requires you to take the DevOps exam, but then also be a Azure developer or Azure administrator before that.
Wow, I would love to see this image for the entire certification process, because I really like seeing the optional versus required paths.
Absolutely. So fun fact, we have a huge poster which shows all the different certifications for all the different products. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit on my screen, so that's why I don't show it. But if people go out there, use your favorite search engine, Bing, and you can basically find that poster with all the different certifications out there, not just Azure, but you can find like what are different certifications, what are the exams, and so on.
This was the perfect segment. I mean, like, I'm really beginning to fall in love with the skills-based economy, and I think this is how we should get started. So thank you so much, Thomas, and I can't wait to see what you're going to talk about next time, because I guess we'll go beyond Azure then.
Definitely, we will do that. Thank you, Nitya.
So Frank, are you still there?
Yes, I am. And I have more homework for Thomas. I want him to update the notes. I want that URL for the poster in there.
That's right. Give him homework.
Exactly. I want that by the end of the show, no, just after. But now, last week, we started a new segment. And it got a lot of success and tweet and views and stuff. So it's time for ABC segment. Really looking forward to it. I hope, Nitya, you're ready.
I am so excited. Before we jump into that segment, I want to just set the stage with a couple of other things we're building on. And let me first start by sharing my slides and talk about visual guides. So ABC, this segment really is about building creativity inside technology. Mm-hmm. So one of these components is what we call visual guides. And I'm putting up the first one. We'll keep sharing these every week. This is the visual guide to green technology and sustainable engineering. Go check out the URL. It's aka.ms/visual-greentech to see the Learn module behind this. And you can actually go to cloud-skills.dev and download a high-res version of this. But I put it up here for a reason. One, Earth Day is coming up in 3 weeks, so we want to all learn everything about sustainability. Hugely encourage you to do it. It's a single module. You will learn so much, I guarantee it. But also because we want to give you a challenge. So Earth Day is coming up. We would love to see what you have to say. So here's your challenge to you from all of us. Learn about this, look at the sketch note, then share sketches with us. You can sketch anything on sustainability, pick a module, pick a principle, or just what's happening in your neighborhood. Hashtag it Visual Green Tech, Hello World Live and Earth Day. And Frank and I will make a little collage and show all your sketch notes on Earth Day right here on Hello World. Right, Frank?
Yes, and all the details will be in the show notes.
I'm excited, but now we're going to start our segment, and this is what we call show and tell. And this is like the quick thing. So if you want to play along, you can answer in the chat right here, or you can post on Twitter, or just watch Isaac and Thomas struggle. That's fun.
Yeah. Talking of them, let's bring on everyone on the screen.
Woohoo! So the way we'll play is you'll see images that'll be drawn in 30 seconds. You have to guess what it is, and it could be a product or a concept. Shall we go, Frank?
I'm ready. Are you ready, guys?
Do you see the fear in my eyes already?
Yes.
I mean, I'm good to go. Let's see it.
Okay.
Ooh, you better get this one.
Toilet? Oh, no. It's not a
No,
toilet.
it's a robot. Scooter. Man on scooter. I take care of the...
Something sidecar related, no?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah, sidecar? Kubernetes sidecar?
Well, you got the word. What you're really looking for is what's the design pattern, and it is sidecar. Bonus was if you can tell me the product that's talking about, and that's Dapper, so DAPR. So yay!
Yay!
Did I get like win, or it's Isaac win? I don't even realize.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, whenever Thomas gets something right, he gets a car. Whenever I get something right, I get a sticker. So...
Okay, let's run the second one. Let's try it.
It's
Okay.
stressful for me because I don't know which one this is too.
So that's a
now
service.
Oh wait.
Can you guess the service? All right, cloud. Person in a cloud.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
I know what this is too.
With an acronym. that
Maybe
starts
it's
with A.
Azure Kubernetes, or Azure Communication Services.
Yeah.
I learned this from your tips and tricks, so you better be like, know this one.
I had a pretty good feeling, but I wanted to make sure Thomas had the opportunity, and yeah, thanks for bailing me out, Thomas.
I was like, okay, yeah, definitely he knows that, and he was like, okay, obviously faster, and then he talks about Kubernetes, and I was like, what's going on? Like,
no, for whatever reason, I just have been Kubernetes today. I've just been saying Kubernetes nonstop all day today. I mean, I love Kubernetes. Don't you love Kubernetes?
Who doesn't?
I didn't try. I didn't play a lot with Kubernetes, guys. That doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just like, you know. Okay, let's continue for another segment. Another video, I mean.
This one might be easy because it's a service again. The little box tells you, oh, this is one of my favorites because you know what this is going to be about.
Sorry, but this is too cute.
Yeah, right. Look, I want to be a little baby tablet.
So mom's like, you can be anything you want to be. I think there's such an empowering message. So empowering. Oh, come on. You
Man.
better get this one.
Something
I
duo?
have one.
Something duo?
I
got
have
it.
one. I have one. I have one.
Cheers.
Mine is probably stuck in the mail.
So what is it? Did anyone finish it off?
It's a Microsoft Surface Duo. Duh.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
And I still don't have one. So
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a country problem, right?
No, it's a cat problem.
trust me, trust me. Yeah, it might be a cat problem, but trust me, if I want someone, I would like. There would not be a country problem.
So, what else do you want, Thomas? Any? Let's recap the show now before it go too far. So.
Yes, so we talked
What
about
else?
Azure certifications, and we will talk about other certifications and how you can get skilled in them. And also, we have prepared something for Sustainability Day.
Awesome. And Isaac.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about GitHub Actions. Please, if you want to check out that tip or any of the other tips, please take a look at the show notes. There'll be a link to the Azure Tips and Tricks site.
And information for Anna will be in the show notes. Nitya, final words.
So definitely we'll have show notes, links to the challenge. But I also want to talk about the fact that we love feedback. So you can find all the show notes at aka.ms/helloworld. We also want to get your feedback. So aka.ms/helloworld feedback. All that information will also be available, like send it to chat, etc. And I think, do we have anything else we want to talk about before we go on to the next show?
We have more time in a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in a rush. Sorry.
We have one more video if we want to
Should
do
we do it?
We should.
I'm ready.
If we can, but if not, we can talk about like what Earth Day challenges we should run. Oh, we do have one more.
Two more. Okay, let's do it. We need to be quick on that one, guys.
All right.
A minute.
That's a
This
person
is a
drawing.
concept. This is a concept.
Okay.
A concept. Okay.
Oh, this is so easy. And you know what? If you don't get it from the color, I don't know what to call you.
The color's orange, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a cloak and it's recognizing things.
Computer vision.
Oh, wow.
You
Nice.
get the vision joke? You know the color scheme,
Yeah.
but it's vision. Oh my god.
I mean,
but
the thing is now, Nitya, is that we have to pay a certain huge company the fact that we said the name of one of their star
no,
characters.
computer vision is a
computer
concept. I'm
vision.
so sorry.
It was totally fine.
Copyrights or things. Anyway, I think that was super cool. Computer vision, fun.
Yeah, and
that
I
was
think
awesome.
that actually gets us almost to the end. So are we going to wrap up? Any last messages before we kind of announce what's coming up next?
Let's take a look at the show notes. Make sure people check out the show notes and the feedback.
Because the poster, the certification poster will be there, I'm sure. Right?
I just want to say, I already got you the link and everything, and you will find it in the show notes.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Cool. And then, so now I think we're about to tune out. So please stay tuned. Coming up next on Learn TV right here, so stay on this channel, is Jay Gordon with Azure Fun Bites. Jay would be nothing without us. No, I'm kidding. He's an amazing guy. You should definitely check out that show. And I can't wait to see what he has to share with us today. So see you all next Thursday.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.